What's up, guys? This is Breonna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast.
What's up, guys? This is Breonna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast.
What's up, guys? This is Breonna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast.
Here we go.
Money, money, making crap for money.
So I'm coming on here to talk about how to start a podcast, because a podcast significantly increases your network, and we all know that your network increases your net worth. Let's get into it. So basically, y'all see I'm in my studio right now. I do have a studio, but I started a year ago on a smaller scale. So what I did was I bought these mics from Amazon. I forget what the brand was, but literally, if you probably type in $20 microphones on Amazon, I'm sure that joint will pop up. But the mics were $20. It was 2 mics, and it came with like a little transmitter. So the 2 mics clip onto you. So you clip one on you, one on your guest, and then you put the transmitter in your phone. It transmits the sound from the microphone to your phone. All of this for $20. I'm literally telling y'all how to do this podcast, how to start this podcast for less than $20. So basically, now that you have your microphones and things like that, and y'all definitely get in here, feel free to ask me any type of questions that you want, because I'm all about sharing knowledge. You get these microphones or whatever, and then if you have an iPhone or an Android, whatever, I have an iPhone. I recorded my first podcast using the Voice Note app, y'all. The Voice Note app. And after I recorded it, and like I said, like, my background is a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. And so, like, I had some nurse friends and some doctor friends. I literally invited them over, like, hey, let's have a conversation. I'm starting a podcast. They came over. We recorded. Cool. There's an app on Spotify, or in the App Store. It's called Spotify for Creators. You can also open up this on this website on your computer or whatever. Just type in RØDECaster, Spotify, whatever, and it will actually take you to where you can start your podcast. And you make an account like anything else. You make an account, username, name, whatever, email, and then voila, your podcast account is created. You can either upload your podcast onto that Spotify app or website, or you can record the podcast using the Spotify website or app. So now you have, let's just say you've recorded your podcast. We figured out how to do that. And honestly, you don't even need microphones to record it for real. You could just open up the voice memo app on your iPhone and record it like that and upload it to Spotify, or record through the app. Like I said, Spotify gives you an opportunity to create a trailer for your show. And like I said, all of this is for free. And y'all, what's up, y'all? Get in here. Make sure to ask me some questions if you like. By the way, my name is Breonna Moore. My podcast is called Conversations Unearthed, and we do stream on all platforms. I'll show y'all how to stream your podcast on all platforms as well. You've uploaded the podcast to Spotify. Now, how do you get it on all your other platforms? So basically what happens is, when you upload that podcast, you get something called an RSS feed. The RSS feed is what you use to distribute your podcast on all platforms. So after you've uploaded that first episode, you go to whatever platform you want to use, iHeart, YouTube, Amazon. Go to any of these websites, create an account. It's going to ask if you are a podcaster. If you are a podcaster, you already have the RSS feed from Spotify. Use that RSS feed from Spotify, plug it into YouTube and Amazon and iHeart, and then your podcast will be available on those platforms. It's that simple. Y'all, it's such a great time right now to be alive for podcasters and people who are trying to, like, turn into these influencers on these platforms, because for one, YouTube is really pushing out small creators right now. Like, I think they're starting to realize that people want to come on the platform and they want to hear real stories from real people. They don't want to keep on being pushed ads and stuff like that. So it's an amazing time to start a podcast. And I would say, like, starting a podcast for me, like I said, your network equals your net worth. Y'all, I done had some people on here. Look, I'm gonna give y'all a gem right now too. Most of these public figures and people who you want to come on your podcast, most of them run their own Instagrams. I literally hit them up on Instagram. Most of them run their own Instagram. So anyways, back to pushing your podcast out on all platforms. You have the RSS feed, right? Cool. Now, how do you edit a podcast? Because like I said, y'all, You really just got to start this podcast journey. You can make it good later. Just start it. Make it good later. So how to edit. The website that I use to edit my podcast is called podcastle.com. podcastle.com. It's free to use. Again, I'm showing you how to do this for less than $20. I'm showing you how to start a podcast for less than $20. So the website that I use to edit, podcastle.com. Okay? There is a paid version. I use the paid version now. And when I first started, I used the free version. Also, how do I get video for my podcasting? Do I use a fancy camera? Do I use a Canon? No. How I get my videos for TikTok for my podcast is completely free. I go on TikTok Live. They save the video for you for 30 days, no matter how long it is. And I end up taking that video off the platform and putting it on my computer, and I upload that joint right to YouTube for free. Okay? Like, it's so easy right now to start your podcast. So I've showed y'all how to create the podcast. I've told y'all what microphones to get. $20 from Amazon. Go type in $20 Amazon, $20 podcast microphone on Amazon. I'm sure it'll pop up. I showed you how to put the podcast on all platforms. I said, go ahead to the Spotify app, or go ahead and create a Spotify for Podcasters account as soon as you upload your first podcast, which you ain't gotta have no fancy equipment to create the podcast. Go ahead. Matter of fact, let's just start the podcast for free. Don't even buy the microphones. Record that joint on a voice memo on your iPhone and upload it to Spotify. After you upload it to Spotify, it will give you your RSS feed. So if you want your podcast to go on all platforms, copy and paste that RSS feed to any platform you want it on. And that's YouTube, iHeart, Spotify, of course, Amazon, any platform that you want your podcast on, go ahead and plug that RSS feed there. Now, if you want more of a quality sound for your podcast, if you really, really, really want to do this the right way, if you really want to attract and start monetizing, that is the reason why I have a studio now, because I want to eventually have my podcast monetized. And when you get a way to get monetized on your podcast, it's a website. I think it's Libsyn, Libsyn.com or something like that. They do ask for your analytics. Okay, so they want to make sure that people are watching your podcast before they shop you out to different advertisers. But that is one way to get monetized. You go to Libsyn.com, go ahead and they'll have a lot of different people. I guess a lot of people that are purchasing ads, like these big companies, they go to Libsyn as kind of like a broker to find podcasts that would fit their brand, and then you basically give them a price of how much you want to put their ad on your podcast, and then y'all kind of go from there. Of course, Libsyn gets a cut of that, and then the rest goes to you. Another way to get monetized on podcasts is a website that I like to use. It's called Printify, Printify.com. And of course, like y'all, we keeping it P right now. And I'm trying to show y'all how to do this for as least money as possible. Basically, what Printify is it allows you to create merch for your podcast. So like, let's just say my podcast is called Conversations Unearthed. Let's just say I go to Printify.com right now. I put the word conversations on the front, unearthed on the back. I haven't paid for anything, right? I create that shirt, and then I push it out to my audience. Yo, I got shirts on this website for $20. You're selling merch right now with no overhead. They don't charge you anything to create this. However, they do take a cut of percentage of sales. So if you already a big podcast, you already got a pretty good audience out there, go ahead and go to Printify.com, create your shirt, and start selling them. Another thing that you can do is create flashcards and things like that of the questions that you like to ask. So another thing is you can charge people for ads like around your city and stuff like that. So it's a few different ways that you can monetize this. It's a few different ways, of course, and then there are subscriptions as well that you can sell. Apple has, if you join there, it's free to upload your podcast on Apple. However, they will try to trick you, because they got me. They try to say, oh, you got to pay $20 in order to upload your podcast on this platform. No, you have to pay $20 to Apple if you want to start a subscription only podcast, which may be beneficial for some podcasters. I want to show y'all this soundboard that I use. I use the RØDECaster to record my podcast. The record button, when it's super easy to use. If the record button is green, that means we now recording. If I press it and it's red, that means that we're now recording. It's that simple to use. And then of course you got your different sound bites and things right here. So like I'm introducing somebody and I want to applause. Well, the yellow is my applause button. If somebody's telling the story and it's sad, well, I got a button that plays violins and make it sad. It comes with 4 outlets, so you can have 4 mics at a time, and which is pretty cool because you can have on 4 guests at a time or 3 guests at a time, including yourself. It's the easiest thing to use on the market, I would say, and the sound quality that comes from this is amazing. I ended up purchasing space at a studio. I would start to kind of get people who I wanted to interview who didn't know me and I didn't know them, so just to make it comfortable for everybody, especially since this is something that's going to be something I'm doing for the long haul, went ahead and got the studio. So I'll probably get ready to set up to start doing like a little mini podcast, so y'all can definitely stay tuned for that. Like I said, put some questions in the chat. So let's say I want to go ahead and start recording, right? I got 4 microphones, 4 outputs. So I got my microphone right here. If y'all can see me. And it's super easy. This microphone stand, if you can see it, this comes with the RØDECaster if you were to purchase the whole kit. So this output right here, they make it super easy to use. We'll put it right here in 4. There we go. So now 4 is hooked up, so now I can speak into the mic and it will hear me. Now we got headphones, and it's like I said, y'all, this soundboard is super easy to use. All of this came with it, and I'll show you the back here. So you see this microphone is connected here to 4. So what I'm gonna do with my headphones so that I can hear, I'm gonna put it in the output for 4, so that way everything is 4 and 4. I'm gonna be speaking in the mic at 4, and I can hear it too. There we go. Hello. Cool. So now I'm ready to go. That's how to start a podcast 101. Let me see if I can y'all definitely follow me on YouTube if y'all want to see my podcast and y'all want more of this content. I'm gonna give y'all some answers to some frequently asked questions, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and record this for my podcast. So we gonna do an actual live recording. I think it'll be fun. So what's up, guys? This is Breonna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast, where y'all come for me but you stay for the guest. Today I want y'all to actually come for me and stay for me.